There is a famous fable about an ant and a grasshopper. One spends the summer months frolicking around while the other prepares for the winter ahead. As a result, during the long months of winter, the ant has what he needs and the grasshopper must go without. You've probably heard this story before, but never considered how it relates in aging in place with a skeletal muscle disease called inclusion body myositis, or IBM. Hi, Jerry here again. When being diagnosed with IBM, the decision on where you'll be aging in place comes a little sooner in life. Some stage 1 IBMers decide they want to remain in their homes as they age, but don't take the early steps to prepare for that choice. As their bodies age and find their physical strength is depleted, they soon realize their home is not adequately prepared for their new limitations. This often results in either a frenzy to adapt the home to their needs at a much higher cost, or the realization that the dream of aging in place can no longer be a reality. For the IBMer to successfully age in place, it requires preparations more than just a little. Ideally, an IBMer should prepare to age in place starting in their stage 1 time frame. There are a lot of excuses IBMers use to delay the start of their planning process. Here are a few of them. My IBM severity might not get bad enough to require special arrangements. I've heard that from too many stage 2 IBMers who are usually disappointed in their earlier assumptions. Various reports state that only 13% of those diagnosed with IBM will be blessed with that easy path. There's hopefully a treatment just around the corner that will help, so I don't want to spend the money. If I had $1 for each time I heard that, I'd be a very rich man. I heard about cures, meds, and new treatment proposals since I was diagnosed in 2007, all without any positive results. And even today with a couple clinical tests that look promising and could be available for use by maybe 2023 at the earliest, they might only slow down our IBM progression from the stage it is at, not remove or reverse the progression. Our TVs were only black and white when the Muscular Dystrophy Association would start to collect billions of dollars to cure muscular dystrophy diseases. And how far have they gotten? Another excuse I often hear is, there's so few people that are knowledgeable about IBM, so I can't find any info on what to expect. Folks, it's the year 2020. There's information available on almost every aspect of IBM on the internet. And there are plenty of ways to connect with other IBMers who are way ahead of you in your IBM journey. Many people wish to age in place because they see it as being less expensive than residential care. In many cases, their home is already paid for, and so they will only need to pay taxes, upkeep, and insurance to maintain their residence. However, there are other costs to aging in place. IBMers aging in place may have to upgrade or remodel their homes quite extensively. They may need to hire people to care for their yard, perform any maintenance, or help with domestic chores. Additionally, they may need to hire a home health aide or nurse, and as I mentioned in one of my recent episodes, liability insurance coverage must be continued or even expanded. By preparing to age in place early, the cost of accommodation will be spread out over a longer time. Some changes that can be made over time include replacing doors with levers, installing sturdy handrails for stairways early on, then graduating to a stair lift or elevator installation if possible. Raising the toilet seats and installing a lift system that will be needed to get you off the toilet. Installing a wheelchair accessible shower. Installing durable medical equipment such as grab bars in the bathroom. Adding a wheelchair ramp for the home to at least one exterior entrance and a secondary escape route is also a good idea. Remodeling the home exterior using designs and materials that require little maintenance or care. The time to modify a home for aging in place is when you are fit and strong enough to make many or some of the adjustments yourself. IBMers should consider the interior arrangement and design of their homes and decide if the current arrangement will continue to be optimal as they age with IBM. Ideally, master bedrooms and living areas should be together on lower levels. Furniture should be arranged so that wheelchairs or walkers can maneuver easily. Walk the different living areas of your house looking for hazards. Mobility can be lost suddenly as IBMers progress, and there may not be time to prepare the home once the mobility becomes limited. Having a well thought out design will assure that if a mishap occurs and mobility is suddenly lost, the IBMer may return home from the hospital sooner with some adaptations made, and it will give you peace of mind for the future. Some home modifications are quick and simple. Grab bar installation is quick and can be done in a single afternoon. On the other hand, some adaptations may take time. Installing a walk-in shower, permanent exterior ramps, or interior elevators are projects that need a bit more planning that can take up to a week or two. The time to decide those things are needed is not when one is in the hospital recovering from an injury after an IBM fall. Often, hospital case managers won't allow patients to return home until after they are confident the home meets the patient's needs. Being proactive means that if mobility is lost suddenly, there should be no delays in returning home while accommodations are being made. This allows those IBMers to return home sooner after an accident, illness, or injury. Many IBMers don't want to think about losing their mobility. They may be in denial that this will ever happen to them, or they simply may feel like winter in our fable is a long ways off. There is time to prepare. Why bother about it now? The answer, as the grasshopper learned and the ant figured out in advance, is that being prepared creates peace of mind and assures the IBMer's dreams of aging in place can become a reality. Homes modified for accessibility before it is necessary allows us IBMers, like the wise ant of the fable, to sit back and relax as the first snow falls on the autumn of our IBM journeys. As our quads and arms diminish, we can smile knowing that everything we anticipate needing is coming into place. There is no need to scramble around at the last moment, hoping there is enough time, money, and energy to adapt our homes as we transition from the autumn of our IBM life into our winter. When you are in stage 2 is the time when an IBMer should think about switching from being an invisible participant to a visible assistant. By that time, you should have taken the time to read and absorb as much about IBM as possible and can reinforce what you have learned by helping other IBMers, family, and friends to understand more about the skeletal muscle condition. As we notice more and more people being diagnosed with IBM, it is important for us to accept the responsibility of sharing our IBM knowledge and experience with others.